Women. They bear the future of humanity in their wombs. In their arms, they nestle and nurture the unlimited potential of human beings. The central role of women is made all the more vital if the 21st century is defined as a family-based culture and love. We are at a point in time where women are emerging as leaders and decision makers. With these roles, women are finally having the opportunity to change the course of history with their unique feminine values and vision. More than ever, we are witnesses of the unleashing of the full potential of women's power and influence. Coming together as peacemakers, women empowering one another can break barriers of race, culture, and religion to build a world of lasting peace. Sustainable solutions to some of the most critical challenges of our time comes about when women work alongside men in the construction of a peaceful, ideal world. Enlightened women are the center of peace and harmony that preserve the nation. The pristine paradise nation of Palau, in partnership with the Universal Peace Federation and the Women's Federation for World Peace, invites you to the First Ladies Summit in Koror, Palau. Witness as women from all over the world as we trailblaze a new path towards a world of interdependence, mutual prosperity, and universally shared values.
Malungil sils, etial momen serniak mariliak ke program, la Kausischakl. Sel maralmel Sunday, next week, ngariak clow el momen serga blur vela la clow lo marai ngarai kir vela olmei. El tengah yang tengarni ngatial lo mengenai program, tirgai kita mos modil wase kita program ngarang klel, eterwat al tirgal metiar program. Ngatial program tirgai teda ngatial program ngai kita ngarang ubah PCA. Dr. Robert Kittel, ngang chairman sel Youth and Students for Peace. Madiregal ngar bitarngi, adiregal Merly Barlan, ngang president sel Women's Federation for World Peace. Adiregal ngar bitarngi katrap tol agar belal dim ngari ngam nakir belal lol marra UA. Mr. Geoffrey Fires, ngang Secretary General Universal Peace Federation New Zealand dalmay. Teman saul tirga mo mosip ega bu ko tir mergo moremeng sa isel call conference magina next week tirga nga tadi kal katingil mertial program la tel nomre kal boy la larnya ta amlay masela erul sandera ma mo tirga kal nay tegi mo mo ngel program tir mal mere nga sulin mo sa kal nay el ko ka mutel mel miskida update ma so dir tegi program. I know this is not your first time in the program. You've been here. This is your third time, and I thank you again for coming and to be able to explain more about next week's event. Palau has hosted a lot of events, but these events that number like so many hundreds of people coming in are not that. We don't get that many events like that. So. Every events that comes to Palau, we will come and we are happy to have those kind of events. But I know that the people have seen the previous interview, but I also would like, as a new host of the program, I also would like to learn more about this conference next week. So if I could just start with you, Dr. Kittel, maybe from here all the way to Merly and Geoffrey over there. Perhaps you can also bring us into the program by explaining what's going to take place next week. Oh, and maybe who are you and what is your role as far as in relation to the conference that is coming next week?
Yes. Mr. Kambes Kesole, thank you for having us here, and to the audience in Palau, Ali, we are very happy to be here. This Asia Pacific First Ladies Summit is co-hosted by the Office of the First Lady and the President, along with the Universal Peace Federation and the Women's Federation for World Peace. But let's go back 2 weeks, because in Cambodia we had our second Asia-Pacific Summit. And the Vice President, His Excellency Reynold Oilok,
Yes.
excuse me, and the First Lady, Debbie Remigansao, they were both there. They spoke really wonderfully representing Palau. The Vice President spoke about the long-term friendship with UPF going over decades. And the First Lady spoke about the importance of family values within the culture of Palau and indeed throughout the Asia-Pacific Rim. So that program was hosted by the Prime Minister Hun Sen of Cambodia. He had invited Mother Moon to be there. He had asked us to have that program in his office. It's called the Peace Palace, and it's the office of the Prime Minister. We have a short 4-minute video clip, and we can show you some background of what happened 2 weeks ago in Phnom Penh.
The morning of a historic day began in the Prime Minister Hussein's office. Prior to the launch of the summit, Prime Minister Hussein welcomed representatives from 54 countries. Finally, he welcomed the co-sponsor of this event, True Mother, and reiterated his support for the summit. In particular, confirmed his support for the plan to launch the Asia-Pacific Union. This was the first event in the history of the country co-sponsored by the national government and a civil organization. The venue was full with Cambodian politicians, the Vice Prime Minister, 35 ministers accompanying the Prime Minister, and 100 governors and leaders from 25 provinces, plus 700 guests from the highest level of 27 countries in the Asia-Pacific region. After opening remarks in which Hussein declared that Cambodia would become a model nation for the world of permanent peace, and a presentation by Jose de Venecia as president of IAPP, True Mother made her speech, clarifying the mission of the Asia-Pacific Union to the leaders from 54 countries.
지금까지 평화를 위해서 추구해 나가는 인간이 세운 모든 제도들은 성공했다고 볼 수 없습니다. 그러나 오늘 독생녀 참 어머니와 함께하는 아시아 태평양 유니온을 이 캄보디아에서 하늘 앞에 감사와 영광을 드리며 인류 앞에는 희망인 것을 알아야 할 것입니다. 그 길을 열어가는 데 있어서 아시아 태평양 유니온 여러분들의 선두적인 책임으로 인하여 세계가 하나 될 수 있는 길로 여러분은 천일국의 권류를 탔다는 것을 인식해 주기 바랍니다.
Presidents and former presidents gave speeches for the occasion, which was followed by a speech by the Vice President of Myanmar, who, in response to True Mother's message, delivered an address on sustainable development in the Asia-Pacific region. Significantly, the Vice President of Myanmar formally invited everyone to celebrate the third Asia-Pacific Summit in his country next year, for which he received strong applause. In a signed declaration, those present joined forces at the opening of the regional branch of the International Peace Summit Council. Then, True Mother awarded the IPSC medal to 8 leaders, beginning with the Prime Minister Hussein, in commemoration of the inauguration of the branch that will be fundamental axis of the Asia-Pacific Union Providence. Prime Minister Hussein awarded True Mother the Royal Order of Cambodia, while True Mother awarded Prime Minister Hussein with the Universal Peace Federation Leadership and Good Governance Award in recognition of his role in forging the present circumstances.
what an amazing event that was, and we're so grateful that Palau was well represented there. The program that is coming here, December 9 and 10, 11, there will be 400 participants, 250 international participants from 36 countries, and then 150 dignitaries from within Palau. And to explain more about that, I would like to turn to Merle and ask her to share more insights into this summit program.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Kittle. First of all, good afternoon. And good afternoon. Thank you so much, Mr. Cambes, for having us here once again. Thank you.
We're happy to have you here. Okay.
Thank you. So briefly, I would like to describe what is going to happen for the First Ladies Summit. On December 9 will be the welcome banquet to be hosted by the government of Palau. The president himself will host it, and the First Lady. And then we are going to welcome about 450 to 500 participants. And then the next day is the inaugural session where the First Ladies will come and give a speech. And also we will have Palauan women leaders as well, and from the government of Palau. And then lunch will be served in the Amayong Cultural Center. And then the afternoon will be composed of two sessions. Around 2 p.m. will be the women's session. It will address the role of women in addressing the critical challenges of our time. And we will focus on the solutions and best practices. And the third session will be organized by the government of Palau. So the First Lady chose the speakers for that. And the second day is the highlight. It's the Interfaith Family Festival. We will be joined by 200 families, international families, and 200 Palauan families. This will be explained to us in detail by Mr. Geoff Fires. But on the third day, on the 11th, we have a special session for women. We have 3 events, actually, concurrent events that will happen in the afternoon. We have one is the International Youth Assembly, and Dr. Kittle will explain more about that. 500 youth leaders, right? Young people. And we have another event is the women special session for 20 Palauan women leaders joined by 50 women leaders, international women leaders, and we will discuss about the projects that Women's Federation has done all over the world for the last 25 years. We're going to showcase our projects focusing on Oceania and Asia projects. Basically, the Women's Federation has conducted service projects, peace building initiatives centering on education and eradication of poverty. And then, that's for the session for the women. And then there will be a special session for the First Ladies where they will go to a place that talk amongst themselves in an informal setting as sisters, as women leaders. And I think that's a very nice occasion where they can all have their own sharing of best practices and talk about solutions to the critical challenges.
Let me just quickly ask, how many First Ladies are expected to be here, and where are they coming from?
Do you have?
There are 2 current First Ladies and 4 former First Ladies, all from the Asia Pacific, the Oceania area that are coming here. So it's going to be an exciting program.
And is this it's First Lady? So the first thing that comes to my mind is that it's ladies conference. So is it like strictly for women, or is there like part of the session that also the members of the community can be there?
Not at all. We have men too. We have, yes, there will be more women, but definitely there are men.
You mentioned some of the projects.
Yes.
So I was kind of like, can you like highlight one specific project, like what it is, so we can like have a good idea of what are some of these projects that you are, and if there's any like in this region, Palau, in the migration.
Let me go into that before we go into the Family Federation, because we have been working here in Palau for the last nearly 2 months in preparation for this program. And one of the highlights and important points is really youth education, raising up youth. So I drew a list of the different projects that we have already invested into in the youth here in Palau. We have done character education for young people. We've worked with the high schools that are here. We have done training for young people in public speaking, and there will be a competition on the final day for public speaking. We've trained young people in diplomatic skills to be liaison officers. When the dignitaries come to Palau, they will be the hosts of the First Ladies and other dignitaries that have come. We will have a 2-day youth camp. We are having the 1-day International Youth Assembly, which will have speakers and entertainment, and it will be really a very deep experience of young people. These young people are going to be interacting with young people from 36 different nations, so it's going to be a very powerful cross-fertilization of ideas. We've done service projects, we have filial piety, curriculum and education programs. We are offering scholarships for children to study abroad under one condition. They can go abroad and study. They must come back to Palau after they finish and graduate. And then we have prizes, competition. We've done drug prevention programs, martial arts programs for young people. So we've been investing in, really into the young people as much as we can.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Kittles.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll move to
Sure.
Jeff. You've been here for 6 years before.
That's right.
Yeah.
I came here in 2004,
Right.
and then stayed, brought my family over, and we stayed here. Our kids went to school in some of the local schools, and then we went back to New Zealand when the kids got older in 2010. So it's sort of part of the reason why I came back to Palau to help with this First Ladies Summit, because I'm sort of familiar with the environment in Palau, and I know lots of people in Palau that I was able to talk to and get their help to help make this program successful. My area sort of in this program is really the interfaith piece, like interfaith family festival aspect of it. So as Merle mentioned, we want families to come along on the 11th, 9 o'clock in the morning until noon, and there's going to be a special, I can say, event focusing on the importance of families. Family starts with a couple, should be anyway, a husband and a wife, or a couple anyway. They start a family, and so at this event on the 11th in the morning, we want couples to come along and listen to the content we're going to share about the importance of family. So we want them to make a promise to each other to always be there for each other, and also for their kids as well. We feel that, as I mentioned in a previous interview, that we see that family is the building block of a nation. And if the families in where I come from, New Zealand, many places in the world now are very broken, and there's a lot of divorce and heartbreak, and then the kids are the ones that end up having to struggle with this issue. So we really have come to Palau to help give a sort of an understanding from what we've learned throughout our activities in the world concerning how important it is to have a very good, strong family culture. So we know we need to make business in Palau. You need to bring tourists here and make money for improve the environment in that way. But what we really want to do is help the family environment, to make a good family culture, make sure kids can grow up and make a family, stay together, and that kind of situation. And the idea of interfaith, well, historically, religion really has talked about these inner things like the family and commitment and promise and these sort of things. So that's sort of the religious area. At school you learn maths and you learn geography, all those kind of things. So where do kids learn these days about these very important family issues? Where are they learning these important moral values? And so what we are encouraging is the idea of interfaith. Is also historically it has not been easy for people of different faiths to work together. There's been a lot of sort of conflict. So we want to try to encourage people that we are one family. I can say under God as our parent, and all God's children, regardless of your faith, we are all a family. And so we should overcome those historical prejudices we've had against each other, especially religious people, and try to work together and solve some of these ethical or moral issues like family breakdown, drug abuse, divorce, all these sorts of things. People of faith should work together. We're on one team, and we should be going in that direction. As I'm always saying to the religious leaders I've been talking to, we're like a soccer team. We're going this way. We want goodness for our kids. We want honesty, integrity, and faithfulness in marriage. The other team coming the other way. They might be selling drugs, right? They might be selling alcohol or whatever. They're in the other team, because those kind of things were found a bit destructive to the family. And so having that in mind, religious people are really on the same team, but sometimes we don't want to pass the ball to each other. We want to just do that by ourselves. But we know that a team, if we work together, each different faith has unique strengths. I very much believe that God sent all these different faiths here to Palau with their uniquenesses, and we can learn to appreciate each other. The Catholic Church also came years ago like an elder brother sort of position and has a good infrastructure, and then there are young ones also that are eager to sort of do something. So we should see like that. I have 6 members in my family, my children. They're all unique, different characteristics. They don't often cooperate together. Each one wants to be the best. And so faith, we should see faith like that. We are really one family, and we should work together. So that's what we want to do. We would like the different faiths to bring their families to this event on the 11th. And we want the religious leaders to get up on the stage together and pray over the congregation. We have a little ceremony, like a peace ceremony, where they each pours water from a different container into a big bowl, symbolizing the coming together of the different streams of understanding and faith. But actually, at the end of the day, we're all in one place, in the big ocean, and we should all live together, love each other, and cooperate and respect each other. It's not about changing religions, it's about bringing us together to work as brothers and sisters. So that's really what my area is I'm focusing on.
Thank you, Jeff. Is there anything you would like to add on or comment?
I just would really encourage families to attend the program. It's a time to really recommit themselves to each other and to be connected and start to network with other people that are really struggling with the same issues and trying to come to solutions and find answers to these problems. And networks are a very great support system. So yeah, and it's a new beginning for all of us. We need these in our lives. Nobody is perfect. We all make mistakes. And if we can't forgive, we're held hostage to the past. So let's forgive ourselves, others, and move forward.
Yeah. Let me just ask this question. What would be the expected outcome of this First Ladies Summit? We have these 36 countries, participants coming in, and when they go back, what do you see as something that they would bring back home?
Sure. Okay, I'll start first.
Please.
At the end of the summit, there is a resolution that is being drafted for the First Ladies, the establishment of the International Association of First Ladies for Peace. Because the women, especially the women leaders, with their maternal character, the love, the inherent loving nature and caring nature of women, and their sociability, they have that inherent capacity to be the peacemakers, starting from home, in the community, in the nation and the world. And we believe that if women, starting from this area in the Pacific region, if these women come together to forge partnership and cooperate in order to pave a way for the young people to be the trailblazer of peace, then the countries where they live can have that peace of peace. What do you call that? There is this peace state of mind, a peaceful state of mind. That's what we call. So I believe that these women coming together from the Asia Pacific region it is something that is unprecedented, and they have the power to create an imminent change of, first of all, the hearts of each other. Because I believe that if we are going to teach our young people to be peace-loving global citizens, the leaders should first model it and show it to them, because that's what children do. They copy what parents do, what the elders do, right? So I think this is a very important opportunity and an initiative for the world to see. And last point that I would like to mention is that Palau has already the model. I keep saying this over and over because of your matriarchal, matrilineal system, your tradition. You have this beautiful tradition that needs to be shown to the world, and that the women has the power. But like the women here, they already have the power, they have the land, they have the decision-making power. But if it is combined with the power of heart, when the woman from inside shines from within, she is more creative, she is more productive, and she can inspire the husband, inspire the children, and inspire the whole nation. And we believe that with that, it can create a ripple effect in the world.
Thank you. Do you have anything to add to
I would say two things. One is networking.
Okay.
And the example is we had the first Asia Pacific Summit in Kathmandu last year. And the biggest delegation to Kathmandu was from Cambodia. So we've networked, and now we've had a program in Cambodia. And this program in Cambodia is now Palau. And Myanmar is competing, and others. So we network, and heads of state come and they see, I like this. So network, and then education. Not only the education that takes place at the summit, relationships that are built, but education goes on before the summit, and we will continue that education afterwards as well.
All right. We have a couple of minutes left, so I'll just give you these couple of minutes to say your last words, and then we can close the program. So I don't know.
Would you like to invite everyone?
Anyway, women play a very important role in the education of the family. And it's through the power of their love that they can guide their children. From the beginning, they sacrifice. They give birth in pain. They feed their babies at the breast. They change their clothes, everything. And so with this kind of sacrificial life, they should be able to raise up their sons also to live this kind of really good life. One of our catchphrases is living for the sake of others. When people learn to live for the sake of others, the world will change. Yeah, so that's what we want to bring, this understanding.
Thank you. Just one more question. Is the event next week open to the public or just for the invitees?
The Interfaith Family Festival is open to the public.
Everybody.
There is a pre-registration, but
Alright.
it's open to the
Okay, I
public.
see.
And there's a phone number that you can
Yeah.
call Jeffrey if you want.
Okay.
It'll be flashed up here in a moment. And if they're interested to call, and they can call and get information, get a registration form. And I would also like to just
Yeah,
close
sure.
by saying, this project and this initiative is really Mother Moon's initiative. She is widowed since 7 years now, but she's carrying on the mission of her husband in a very powerful way. And these summits are not just here in the Asia Pacific, they are global. And it's going to be a game changer.
Thank you, gentlemen, madam.
Thank you
Thank
very
you so
much.
much for this time.
Appreciate it.
Kami aman masahol mo sa amul ko kabang kama berti lagi dan lamun mereka program itu yang program lah mana lihat program lah Kausischakl. Ma next week mo rin sa call conference. Segit sa telephone number Il bol ngulo dia la screen mo sa ngulo sa matsumong ngaring ya so ming loge. Questions wala information gid tiar ka friends. Ya ko mo color sige din number. Ang mal di merit yan, mal mere asuli. Makuk next. Thank you.
Thank you.